Anyway, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and our distinguished guests, dear participants. Am I audible?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Sir, you are audible, sir.
Acha. You see, there was a time when this world was ruled by kings and emperors. They had unlimited powers, but the state which they represented played a very limited role. The the basic role which the state played was defense of the territory, collection of revenue, and maintenance of law and order, of which judicial system is a very minuscule part. But if you closely examine, you will find whose territory was a king or an emperor defending. He was actually defending his own territory, not the territory of his subject or the people living in the kingdom. Because the bigger his territory or the vaster his territory, more powerful he would have been regarded. Similarly, he had been collecting revenue, not for sharing it with his people or with his subjects, but for enabling him to live and enjoy his life as a king or emperor. The third one was maintenance of law and order. Obviously, even a king cannot live peacefully if there is disturbance in the society. So he was maintaining law and order also in his selfish interest. So in all, you will find that the state those days existed in the selfish interest of the ruler. With the fall of kingship, there was a rise of communism and democracy. Which one was good, which one is bad? That's not the matter of discussion, because today we have both democracy and also communism. One common thread which passed through both this system was that both these systems declared themselves to be a welfare state. The difference between the state which was there during the time of the kings and emperors and a welfare state is that in welfare state exists for the welfare of the people of the society. And it means that the state shares its means with the people of the society, its assets with the people of the society, because the liability of the state will be the liability of the society. Now, if you, in this kind of a scenario, when you have to, when we come to COVID-19 and we are seeing what is happening, and the question arises as to whether the state should pay for the treatment, medical treatment of the persons affected by COVID-19, you will realize that there is a class of people who can afford the treatment and there is a class of people who cannot afford treatment. So there comes the judicious part of the state. The state ideally ought to maintain the medical expenses of all, whether rich or poor, but in a country like ours, which is still a growing economy, it is necessary that the government is given as little burden as possible. So this financial burden which is put on the government has to be shared by the people who have the means to share. So that way we will be able to reach greater number of people affected by COVID-19. And that's ideally the situation here. Since the subject is, should the people should the treatment be made available free, is the subject of debate. I would not like to say on this. I will only say this much, that as far as the state is concerned, it has to rationalize its means, and the planning which it has to do has to ensure that nobody goes without treatment, because there is no point in having economic upliftment without a healthier society. And a healthier society is not possible until and unless we have provided for a treatment of people affected by COVID-19. I am thankful to the organizers for calling me. Because of paucity of time, I have joined very, very late. I know I'm conscious of the fact that I must not be taking much time. I will therefore conclude with thanks to every one of you. Thank you.